Yo, what is going on guys, Flashverse here and welcome back to another video on The Flash Season 8, and this will be my ending explain slash theory video for The Flash Season 8 Episode 4 titled Armageddon Part 4, aka the penultimate episode of this event. So yeah, I'll be breaking down the ending portion of the episode and give you guys my overall thoughts and theories in regards to what I think could potentially be happening going into episode 5, which is obviously the finale for this event. But wow, episode 4 was a crazy episode to say the least. We got a lot of interesting things taking place during this episode, such as Barry becoming the Reverse Flash, as well as Eobard Thawne becoming the Flash. We also had the reveal about the timeline change and how this new timeline called Reverse Flashpoint came into fruition. We got some answers in regards to this alternate timeline created by Thawne and how he was able to execute everything according to plan to obviously steal Barry's life and just get revenge on him due to what Barry did to him during the Flash Season 7 finale. We had some very well acted scenes. Everyone stood out in terms of acting. In particular, Grant Gustin, he just knocked it out of the park this episode. He was honestly phenomenal. Obviously, Tom Cavanagh always delivers, and Damien Dark was also great in this episode as well. We had some really great character interactions. One in particular which I really loved and once again really stood out to me was the interactions between Damien Dark and Barry. I really loved it. This was by far the best we've seen Damien Dark throughout the Arrowverse, and it's just great to see Damien Dark return. Thawne is just such a great villain. I'm just speechless about him. He is so great. I love how he was impersonating the Flash, and he was also, being the more intelligent Team Flash leader, if you will, because obviously Thawne is smarter than Barry. That's obviously a no-brainer. So seeing them operate differently was really cool to see, and I loved how he just took Barry's place as the Flash and literally just ripped everything away from Barry. This is the type of character Thawne is, and it was just really well exemplified in this episode, and it just shows how great of a villain Thawne is. Iris and Ryan Wilder's friendship was something I really liked as well, and they have such a great established friendship, and that is the case because after all, this episode did take place 10 years into the future, but they had some really great scenes at the loft, which just shows how great their friendship becomes. And I hope to see them in future episodes where they do obviously set this friendship up going forward. The very final Barry and Iris scene was so well done. This is probably my favorite Barry and Iris scene we've had, where Barry just rushes at Iris and just goes for the hug. I really loved that. It just felt very natural how Barry just lost everything with this reverse flashpoint, and then when the timeline's restored, he just goes back to his friends. He sees Iris, he just dives to her, he hugs her. I just really loved it, and obviously that ending we need to talk about as well. But before I go over anything, however, you guys don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you are aware of more Arrowverse content coming your way. So obviously during the ending portion of the episode, we had Barry and Thawne chasing after each other across the globe as Armageddon is slowly beginning to form. We had that race in the time stream where Barry used the power of love to connect to Iris, thus helping him tap into the Speed Force and open a portal into the time stream where he sees his memories with Iris in the original timeline, if you will, and he runs through the Speed Force, and we have Thawne trying to stop Barry from restoring Reverse Flashpoint. However, he was not very successful. Barry was able to restore the timeline back to how it used to be prior to Reverse Flashpoint, and yeah, Thawne's plan has failed. But yeah, after the timeline is restored, Barry walks into the lounge and sees Team Flash, and they're eating food. He speeds and hugs Iris. Cecile senses that something is wrong with Barry, and Barry says that he will obviously explain to them later. Iris then calls Joe, and Barry talks to him. It was such an emotional ending, and I really loved it. Joe is back alive, and we're most probably going to see him for episode 5. But what is actually going on over here? So this is actually a complete new timeline which has been formed. One that is completely separate to the Flash Season 8 episodes 1 to 3. So everyone from Team Flash over here, they have no trace of memories about Despero or anything related to Armageddon at all. But yeah, Team Flash have just been living their lives as normal, nothing has happened, in which obviously Barry is going to explain everything to Team Flash off screen because they don't want to spend time explaining everything to Team Flash, because we've literally seen it in the point of view of Barry already. But yeah, in this timeline, from what I can theorize and gather, the events from episodes 1 to 3 are completely erased. Barry, Thawne, and Despero are the only ones who would remember the Armageddon timeline. And obviously Joe is back to life, meaning Thawne never kills Joe in this new timeline as well. Now, one thing which you guys may have missed is that Barry actually gains his speed back as well. So as we know, during episode 3, Barry went to Jefferson Pierce, aka Black Lightning, so that he could help get rid of his powers. And later on in the episode, Barry does actually end up losing most of his speed, even to such an extent where he can no longer time travel, thus losing that level up which he's acquired during the Flash Season 7 finale. But now, since Armageddon technically never happened due to Barry restoring the timeline back to how it used to be, he pretty much never goes to Jefferson Pierce, aka Black Lightning, for help in the first place, therefore he doesn't lose his speed. So yeah, in this new timeline, Barry gets the level up that he's lost back, so I'm really glad that they brought that back, and we're gonna be getting more of this new leveled up Barry. But later on, we do see Eobard Thawne in the new Reverse Flash suit, and Tom Cavanaugh looks great in that suit. But we see him speed into the time vault, and he says, "No one uses time against me. I will live, I will change what's about to happen, and you will help me," as he obviously swipes in the plinth and opens up Gideon, and his eyes begin to turn red, obviously being the iconic Reverse Flash look. Now, in regards to Eobard going to the time vault, this might be another detail you guys may have missed, but since Armageddon pretty much did not happen, this means that Gideon never gets destroyed in the first place, which is why she is back. Because the radiation scanners never go offline, because Eobard Thawne doesn't mess with it, because the timeline is not changed. So technically it never happens. The inspectors do not come in, Barry doesn't have to go erase Gideon and put on those holographic projections. So yeah, Gideon is not destroyed in this new timeline. But yeah, after the stunt Barry pulled, which is obviously reversing the timeline change which Thawne did, there is no way Thawne will just stop. We know that he will come back, and he will come at Barry even harder than before due to this timeline change. But if we follow the lines Eobard says, "I will live, I will change what's about to happen, and you will help me." He obviously says that to Gideon. This does actually seem like Eobard will be trying to manipulate the timeline again, and this time it could be that everything is normal. So Eobard is still the Reverse Flash, Barry is still the Flash, Nora Allen still gets killed, but maybe he will just manipulate the timeline so that Barry still causes Armageddon, but for another reason. Who knows, that's just my theory for it. We do know that the events of Armageddon will essentially ripple onto the back half of the Flash Season 8 as well, so despite this timeline change happening, it does seem like Eobard will change the timeline once again, but I'm not entirely sure. As I said, this is just a theory. We do know that Thawne in some way will be showing up for the back half of the Flash Season 8 as well, so Armageddon will certainly not be the last of Thawne, which we will be seeing this season. It will be pretty interesting to see what else they have in store with the Reverse Flash, because it does seem like this version of Eobard Thawne at least is reaching his final stages, because he has the new Reverse Flash suit now. He knows everything that's happened prior to the Flash Season 8. He knows that he time travels to the night Nora Allen's murdered with the Future Flash, and he knows that his plan to kill Barry as a child fails, and he knows that he's going to have to kill Nora Allen. He knows that after his plan fails, he's going to have to disguise himself as Harrison Wells so that he could create the particle accelerator. There is a possibility that obviously the Flash Season 9 could be the final season of The Flash, and for everything to come full circle, we need a past version of Eobard Thawne, one that has not killed Nora Allen yet, and one that has no memories about the fate which has been written for him. And we need the old suit as well, because that's what he had with him the whole time. During the Flash Season 1 and during the night Nora Allen was murdered, he had the old Reverse Flash suit. So maybe what they are trying to do over here is that they will tie a bow on this version of Eobard we have right now, whether Barry kills him due to something causing him to snap, or he just simply gets defeated. I don't know about that, but it is possible that this could happen during Armageddon. Maybe Barry ends up killing Thawne, or once again Thawne gets defeated fully. I'm not entirely sure, but towards the back half of Season 8, after this present Eobard Thawne's defeated, we could then be getting this younger version of Eobard Thawne being set up. And then for season 9, that younger version of Eobard Thawne, the one who has absolutely no trace of memories in regards to what's about to happen to him, could end up being the final main villain for the Flash. That's what I think could potentially happen, but that's obviously going by the fact that the Flash season 9 could be the final season. If season 9 is not the final season, then we will still continue to get present Eobard, and he will still be played by Tom Cavanagh with obviously the new Reverse Flash suit. But I'm just assuming that if season 9 is the final season, then I think that this version of the Reverse Flash will be defeated pretty soon for everything to fully add up. And then later on, we're going to have to establish a younger version of Eobard Thawne. But yeah guys, thanks for watching. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe. Be sure to tell me in the comment section down below what you guys think is going on over here. And be sure to tell me any thoughts and theories you guys have in regards to episode 5, aka the finale. I'm interested to see all of your thoughts towards all of this as well. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.